The first thing you have to do in moments like this is stopping romanticizing the situation. Because the moment you romanticize it, you leave reality. And when you leave reality, you also leave the practical solutions. So, let me ask you today's question carefully. What did you learn from losing money? Welcome, friends. I'm Fred. Here we talk about business, investments, real life, and training, all from my personal perspective. And this question today falls clearly into the real life category. This is not about investment strategies. This is not about business theory. It's about life. I've lost money more than once in my life, in business. For example, when I had a pulley manufacturing company years ago, rollers, I had to shut it down and I lost a lot. Later, when I opened a mechanical workshop with partners, I left the partnership and I lost money again. That happens. But the biggest lessons don't come from those situations alone. The biggest lessons come when you truly have no money, when you really can't pay for things. That's when reality teaches you something important. One thing you learn very quickly when you lose money is that money has no feelings. We are the ones who attach emotions to it. Money itself is neutral. People often say, if I had this much money, I would do this, I would do that. And yes, maybe you would. But in practice, money doesn't change the world as much as people imagine. You lose money, you gain money, and the world keeps turning the same way. Your tragedy doesn't stop it. Your victory doesn't impress it. Now, that doesn't mean there are no real consequences in your life. Of course there are. If you have money, you pay your bills, you dress properly, you keep your life organized, and that matters. If you are an honest person who pays what you owe, you preserve something very important, your dignity. One of the hardest lessons I learned came from being unable to pay certain debts. Not utility bills, electricity, water, phone, not those. Those are painful, but manageable. The worst ones are personal debts. Debts involving people, a local supplier, a small business owner, someone who trusted you. That destroys you emotionally. When my manufacturer company failed, I managed to pay all my employees, but that I couldn't pay my suppliers. I remember this clearly. I own money in 14 different situations, 14 people. And that stayed with me for a long time. It hurt. It was embarrassing. It was heavy. Being in debt is shameful. There is no point pretending it isn't. But what changed everything for me was the reconstruction process. As I slowly rebuilt myself, I went back to each person, one by one, and you could see the surprise on their faces. Wait, are you back? I thought you were gone. And that moment teaches you something powerful. If you owe someone money and you didn't pay what you promised, your first obligation is to apologize. First, always. No pride, no excuses, head down. I went to those people with humility. No drama, no crying, just responsibility. Here's something crucial. If you bought something for 10 and you want to pay 9 in cash immediately, fine. That's negotiation. Okay. But if you want 10 for a year, and now you want to pay 9? No, man. In that situation, you are already wrong by being silent. You are already wrong by being silent. You must be extremely careful with what you say. The right approach is simple. You go there. You apologize briefly. You explain lightly, no emotional manipulation. And you pay what you owe, not less. That leaves a powerful impression, because yes, you were wrong, but someone who was wrong takes responsibility and fixes the mistake with humility is far better than someone who disappears. After that, something interesting happens. Respect comes back. And if you choose to rebuild the relationship, you can start buying in cash. Little by little. Over time, the perception changes completely. You go from he failed to he's serious. He is respectable. One of the lessons that I stay with me from all this is very simple. Buy cash whenever is possible. In business, in investments, in personal life. Cash keeps you grounded. Of course, there are exceptions. In construction, for example, if someone buys small daily items on credit, nails, tape, small materials, why? Because it helps you with monthly cost control. And the supplier knows me. He actually prefers that I buy on credit. Why? Because he trusts me. He knows I will pay every single month. That trust is extremely valuable. So, what I did, what I really learned from losing money, that posture matters more than money itself. If you have the right posture, responsibility, humility, seriousness, you are seen differently. People want to work with you. They trust you. Losing money teaches many lessons. But the most important one is this. Don't run away from responsibility. Face it. Fix it. Move forward. And one day, it's over. You start again, stronger. Tell me in the comments what you learned from losing money. Thank you to everyone who is following the channel. I truly appreciate it. And I see you in the next video.